We have done a lot of operations and also exercises during the course of the year as a result of the heightened situation that we had across the country. At one time when there was the piracy incident in Berbice, we had to set up, but very important, we want an elite set of policemen. We are now getting that because of the training the Justice Education Society is giving them, and they are becoming real good, the major crimes unit. And so we want to give them a comfort level. So we are going to repair and rehabilitate 12 police stations, and these police stations, when they're going to be rehabilitated, are going to have a variety of rooms within them, to the extent that they could take care of domestic violence, sexual violence cases, and so on. And they're going to be special facilities for that. Mr. Speaker, it is almost time, if I may say so. The Guyana Fire and Rescue Service is also an important adjunct of the ministry. And in that sense, we are going to expand both the fire stations and human resources of those fire stations. We will be having 4 locations, namely Port Kachuma, Mahdia, Letem, and Kukwani, as having auxiliary arms of firemen who are retired working in those locations. The service will also be extended to Legwan, Bekanam, Bartika, and Linden. We also will be having more assets for the fire department. An asset that is going to be very important is the procuring of a fully equipped fireboat. This asset can provide support to vessels in distress, oil spills, search and rescue, and marine emergency. It is a very expensive piece of equipment, but indeed, we got the monies out of the Minister of Finance this year. We also, Mr. Speaker, are going to do a couple of things this year at a more concrete level. It was design level this year, but next year, 2017, at the Community Crime and Violence Prevention program under the component 1 of the Citizen Strengthening Program. And of course, we have to, this year, complete some community needs and asset assessment so that we can have better parenting education for families that are in somewhat dislocated. Also, those studies are going to be done in relation to violence against women prevention training. Mr. Speaker, we want to get scientific as against what used to happen before, anecdotal and all of that, in our approach in solving crimes, evidence-based approach. And we have gotten the assistance from the USAID. Over $4 million will come our way. I think it's 2 countries, Trinidad and Guyana, whereby we're going to do studies to find out, because we need the studies to be done. I don't know how Guyanese are so violent today. Even one in New York sawing off his wife's head. What has gone wrong with us as a society? And this is not something that I will complain about as happening. It is obviously some manner of thing where another American will come in. Guyanese would go to the back dam, see 3 innocent men, then shoot them down like happened at Maibikuri. Throw them over the boats with the piracy incident. Do that which happened at Skeldon. Some study is required, whether it is mental disorder, whatever it is, and we have to do surveys. Evidence-based approach then is required in regard to these matters. But more than that too, at-risk youth at a community level, and we have selected 20 communities under the Citizenship Strengthening Program, and from each community, 55 young people who are at risk into, becoming troublesome. We are going to pay them some money to go to school so that they could take their minds off that idleness. 1,100 are going to be trained for the year 2011 and right up 2017, and another 1,100 in 2018, 2019, and 2020. 4,400 young people are targeted. And masonry, fridge repairs, the whole gamut, the mechanic, whatever it is. We will find a school in and around their area to ensure that they be redirected there. We are talking also about conflict resolution and mediation training. You see, Mr. Speaker, we have come to the realization that in Guyana, law enforcement cannot be the end-all of solving this high crime situation. We have to be also with social programs, and those social programs is what I'm talking about here. Public aware campaigns. We also want to start something to deal with suicides, and that is also training some of the community elders and leaders to identify that for us and phone in so that we can have the information earlier than getting the information that she hanged himself or he hanged himself and so on. Component 2 of the strengthening of the Guyana Police Force crime prevention, that is its investigative capacity. We want to train 150 police officers in domestic violence scenario response. And that is going to be a big thing because this domestic violence is getting out of hand too. 150 police officers to be trained in community engagement and cooperation, and 240 police officers to be trained on criminal and forensic techniques. That will be a continuation of the Justice Education Program. But we also will want to use technology, and the design was put forward this year. We are going to start talking about the Smart City Program, and there are lots of big companies that are interested in it. We have to find a venue for our command center because the designers are indicating that it will have to be a big piece of land with a brand new building and all of that. And also training those people that are going to be in that command center, watching the screens as to the inputs coming in from all the cameras in and around Georgetown. We will do that as the experiment first.
Honourable Member, you've been speaking for 26 minutes.
Thank you very much, sir. I will close within the 4 minutes. We also had this huge problem at our prisons, in which obviously the overpopulation there means that we'll have to expand some prisons outside or build a new one. We do not have monies for a new one. And so we are going to expand the Mazaruni prison this year with a major, almost $500 million expansion. We will need more housing for the staff members that will have to go there. We will need better quality buildings to house some of the more hardcore criminals that we'll have to shift from Georgetown. And so that will occur this year because we have now had the money for that. We are also going to conduct a major study on alternatives to incarceration, especially for young people. This is important. Under the Juvenile Justice Bill that I will bring here soon, we will have to have what is called alternative and options to just locking them up, but also for adults too. We are dealing with that. And design